Alright, good morning, welcome back. It's the next day. I don't know, I never really have a good plan for that bit, but so we've got our main trunk joinery facets made. You just saw, or recently saw. So I've got my facets. The next thing I'm going to do then is work out the branches and the legs. I think I can get it all out of that remaining board, because what I need now is much shorter. I have shorter needs. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little more manageable. So I'm going to get this. I think I'm done with this for now. So I'm going to get this out of the way, clean up a little bit, and then we'll start working out our branches and legs, branches and feet solution. So I'll bring you back. Okay, so we've cleaned up a little. We got our remaining board here, and I'm just looking for the stock I need, the pieces I'm going to need. So, kind of planning my way through this. We've got, let's see, this will be the bottom, this will be the top. We've got some legs I want to have come out this way, and so maybe 15, 14, or maybe even less, maybe 13 or 14 inches long. I don't think I need it to be super long. 13 or 14 is going to be plenty to have it stick out far enough. Yeah, same for you. And then for the branches that'll hold the top, I need them to come out a ways, maybe a little bit further. If they were 16 or so, maybe a little more. We need 2 of those and then a little stubby. The little stubby I can pull out of anywhere. This one is going to need to be a little wide, so that this one has a facet. It's lower, so it's going to have to come up higher, but I want it out, so it's going to come, kind of a curvy sort of thing. So I need something a little wide for this one. And this one just is going to be a sort of a branch straight to this way. So it's kind of, I know the facet is facing me straight up to my face, but it's going to curve. It's going to curve down or curve outward. It's going to kick out pretty quick. It's not going to be a straight out shot. It's going to kick out pretty quick. Kind of go flat a bit, flat-ish. Same with these. So what I need is 4 longish ones and a stubby. And so I'm kind of looking at this thing and just getting a sense. I have too much stuff on the floor. There's an extension cord down here too that's going to try to trip me. So I think I can get 2 of the longish ones out of this section. I don't need them to be very thick because they're going to be skinny branches anyways. So if they come out and I only get, there's 4.5 I could probably get out of this before I run into the pith. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is I could chop it off right here, and this will get me at least 2 long ones, maybe the 2 feet or something like that. Maybe something like that. Or it'll get me my 2 branches. We'll see about that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably just take this over the miter saw and just very carefully slice through this in stages, because it's real wobbly and not super stable. So I don't want to be too rogue with it, too cavalier with it, safety wise. So yeah, I think we're going to take this over. I'm going to chop this part off. Then I can use the bandsaw. Then it's not as big, awkward, and wobbly as I would be worried about on a bandsaw. And we can cut the remaining pieces that I want out of it. So yeah, let's do that next. Alright, so we've got it freed from the large slab. That's good, and it's much more manageable. Next I'm going to try to draw a somewhat straightish line. I actually don't really care. Just try to cut this pith off and then we'll use what's left there to probably split it in half to use for the top for the branches, I think, maybe. Yeah, that's the plan anyway. So, yep, hearing protection. Well, that doesn't work when you pop the blade off the wheels. We're gonna have to fix that first. Dang it. Yeah, just pull the wheels off. I put too much pressure on. I was pushing too hard for it. Oh no, I actually broke the blade. Cool. It's been a while. This blade got a lot of use out of it though, so I got a ton of years out of you, so you're okay. I feel like I got my use. Broke the blade. Well, then I think we're gonna put the blade that came with the saw. Oh no, I don't have that anymore. Get one with big old giant nasty gullets is what I'm gonna do. So this is fairly thick and I'm gonna make a rough cut anyhow. Now if I could just free it from the bundle of blades I have without slicing my fingers open. There we go. Got it. Okay. And if anybody ever wondered how to open a bandsaw blade, the safest way is to throw it in the yard. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Second time all over again. Alright, that went reasonably well for a jacked up broken blade moment and a goofy little board that's all warped. So we basically took the pith out of it pretty easily. This thing, I don't have a use for this board, so away it can go. Oh yeah, we knocked it with the garbage can. Oops, it was too heavy. Let's stop messing around here. It's serious. So this blade that broke was a 1/4 inch. I got a lot of years out of it, but it did break at the weld, so that's interesting. It could be possible to re-weld this if I so desired, but I got 6 or 7 years out of this thing, probably. Maybe a little less, maybe 4 or 5, 3 or 4, 4 or 5. Got quite a few years out of it, but she died. So. Went for a good cause. Put a 1/2 inch blade in her. Tried not to let it twist too badly. And took care of things. So now we got this warped little twisted board here. In it lies 2, I hope, arms. 2 tree branches here. 2 branches. How long is this? 30. So I think I'm going to want, boy, let's see. My top is only 33.5 right now. So if we take roughly 5 or so, that's 6 1/4 right there. So if they were here, 15 could do it. I might take right in half. I might do that. I might go right in half and use the full thickness and width of each of these. I think that's going to work. We'll see. I do believe it's going to be way thicker than I require. But getting it down to 2 inch of width is going to be trickier. That's actually pretty damn straight. Straighter than any of the other ones I've been dealing with at this point. I'm just working through my head how to get the full width of the board out of it, how to get the most use out of the board with the shape I want. So, let me think about this a second. I want to make what I'm stumbling on is in order to make one of these make that curve, the width is pretty helpful. The wider I can get it, the better. And so I'm kind of working out how I can get a good wide stick out of this. Maybe this is, maybe these are used for that. Let's see, how long are you guys? I might be able to get it out of this chunk here. I can get wider ones out of this chunk for sure. So, and 15, yeah, I think I can get it out of these. So I'm going to take this one now and turn it into branch stock, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get, I think I'm going to do this in 2 cuts. I'm going to try to get as much out of it as possible. And then see what happens. One of them can be a little skinnier than the other. So if I got a full 6 out of this, then I have tons to play with for that. Yeah, I think I like that. Working through this in my head as I go. So yeah, one can be a little narrower and one can be a little wider, and I can use the heck out of all this stock. Okay, we're going to do another cut. Those are 2 cuts here. Okay, so we got those 2 pieces cut off, and we're going to take and slice this in half to use it for the feet. I think I've decided that's what I will do. Okay, so in a really, really abstract way, this is essentially the part layout. One of these parts is missing for this, but so you got the top here. This is the actual top face. There'll be a small little jut out here to hold, you know, closer to the edge. This is actually going to come out a bit like that, sort of, so that it angles. It'll be curved and it'll support way out here. Same goes for this one. It'll come out and support out about here. And then we've got feet, and they'll come out about like this and angle down just a little bit. There'll be a nice curvature so that it bears out here. Same goes for this one. And then in the center here, like a tripod, I'll have another foot that kind of keeps it keeps it upright. I'm probably just going to use an adjustable foot down here. Not sure yet. Probably not an adjustable foot. Not sure what I'm going to do there yet. Still got to work that bit out. I might leave a chunk in the middle and carve a lot of this away, and then have everything sort of flush like this. So right here, and if we put this down to that area, we're looking at a rough overall length of about 31.5 or so, roughly, somewhere in that range. So that's going to make it for the table. I could tip them down just a tiny bit, I suppose, but we're just gonna go with it like this. So that's the rough layout that I have going. Do I have it running? I do have it running. Okay, no viewers though. Alright, so this is kind of the rough layout. And I've got my parts, most of my parts. When I think what I'll do next is work out, I think what I'm going to do very next is get rid of a lot of the waste wood that's in here, because I need better access. I should have done more of that with the router, I think, but so we're just going to put stuff away out of the way here. And I'm going to grab my biggest chisel and the mallet. Give her heck. Okay, that was more work than I'd planned on, but that's okay. So we got everything sort of out of the way now, and I can sort of hold these pieces up a little better as to the the orientation, and just try to get it, you know, a rough idea of what size I need it to be. And you know, so we're gonna start messing around with angles and toying with things here. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is come up with an angle that I can use that's going to, wow, that's going to be a sharp one, isn't it? Okay. So I'm working out how to match this angle so that when it goes on, maybe this end will do better. When it goes on, I want it to, right now it's pointing right here. I need it to point up and down more this way. I need it to be more like way down here and way over here. Actually, yeah, I need it to come way over so that I can have enough room to the curve that's necessary to make that work. So what I'm thinking is we're going to be about here, like that. Yeah, so we're just working out how to reach an angle that this can hit. And it's definitely going to need to be the bigger of the pieces. We're going to lose a lot of length messing around with that, I think. But what I'm going to work out is I'm going to grab a board that'll be about as long as my top is. I don't want to have my top there because I worry about wrecking the top, but well, if we put the top against here, roughly, because we'll cut that straight, I suppose, at some point. Yeah, we'll cut some of this down. In fact, that's about where it's going to sit, right? That's the top actual front. Okay, so then we'll do this like that, somewhere in that range. And we just have to make sure that I hit it somewhere. Something like that. So I think what I'm going to try to do at this point is figure out a way to get a mating surface onto this that puts me in the vicinity that I want it to be here. And this is going to need to be much thinner. These are going to get a lot smaller. They're not going to be anywhere near this thick. They're just big so that I have playroom. I have room for sculpting. Because in here, inside this plank, I feel I can find precisely the board I want. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play around with angles and whatnot to get this right. Alright, got some thinking heads going, some thinky thinks going, so I'm going to say it's going to sit in there about like this, and that'll let me come around and cut a nice arc and do a sort of an S type curve. So that's the plan. That means I'm going to cut some of this away. I'm going to draw on it. I'm going to draw it on the other side, but I'm going to draw on it the shape I've got in mind. So we're going to come from that corner and come back around. So we're going to basically do, actually, I can't really come at it from, well, I guess I can, yeah. I'll come at it from here and here, and then we'll come back this way. Maybe come this way, and this will sort of just do like that, and then this little arm will get a flat spot right in this area somewhere, I think. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And then we can adjust the angle of this to get it to tip up if we need to. Okay, so I'm going to cut that shape out. It's going to be the shape of this thing. And then I'm going to play around with getting it so I can fit it onto this piece. And then I'm going to put it up against this facet and use that as my next shaping guide. So right now I can take this over and cut out this shape, or rough shape. So we're going to go to the bandsaw now. Alright, so we've got that rough shape cut out there. It's kind of a funny looking shape, but now, did I ever draw it upside down? I think I did. I sure enough did. I think I don't think I come out far enough. Near center here. Oh no, we're fine. We're okay. Okay, so we're in this vicinity. We're going to cut a flat spot in this region somewhere, and we'll cut our bevel wherever that'll be. And I'm thinking, so we've got this chunk, but I've got to lose this part of this chunk because there's a cut here, right? But if I bevel this way and back, that'll give me a nice turned spot, and then it's just a matter of getting the angle right to put it up high enough. And then I'll put a little curve this way. That's what I'll do. I'll just put a little curve that way so that it's coming out of the branch better. So that'll work. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's not quite where I was thinking for some reason. I had my head around like something like that, but it could just as easily be over here. But yeah, we're gonna go with this. So we're gonna come out, and I'm gonna come around like this somehow, and kind of have it a little gnarly curviness. It's gonna be a little tricky to cut on the bandsaw, I think, but I'm sure we can get it done. Yeah, so this will come out like, it can face like this even, and I can put my flat way down here. Yeah, I think we can do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is cut some of this stuff off. This roddy stuff is, you can hear it, it's punky there. So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut, let's get a marking here. I'm going to cut around to that a little bit. So we're going to go, like that, and then take a little bit here, and we'll take a little bit there, like that, sort of. Something like that shape, and we'll see what happens. And then I can take it over to the sander and get the right angle the way I want it. Yeah, so if I hold this like this and I cut like that and then I come in, sure, I can work that out. I think we can do that safely enough. Cool. Probably come at it from that side for this one. Okay, so back to the bandsaw we go. So I'm just playing around with shapes and angles and stuff here. So I'm trying to decide if I like it like this or if I like it like this. This way does seem to look nice. But the problem with this one is I lose a lot there. I'm going to end up being way in, and I'm going to be way up. I still like it. The trouble is it's thin here, although I can just make this all thinner too. So yeah, I'm kind of working through what's in my mind's eye. This way was my original plan. Doesn't actually work as well. This way might be the way. Go like there. Like that, right there. It's going to lose a lot to get this to come in. I kind of wanted it more like that. Twist that way. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to get this cut somewhat close to this angle to match. We got to lose a lot to get to there though, don't we? Because of that saw cut. I'm fine with it being in this far too. Totally fine with that. Which means I could be totally fine with this. Yeah, I like this way. I'm thinking about like this, and then this will be all nice and round and curvy. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so what I'm headed for is something like this, sort of, in that range. So if I cut around to that meth, I might be close. So we're going to go take an angle off of that. Take a quick little snip off of that angle. Looks like it's almost plumb that way. If I just do it like this, if I can just hold it on the table. So I'm going to be back and forth from the bandsaw to this. I'm going to pull you guys out and you can watch the full thing. Alright, well, that went faster than I expected it to, actually. I'm surprised how easy that actually turned out to be. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but... So this is our part A, and I mark where it goes. And that'll fit, and then I've got a smooth spot there, or a flat spot there I can hit the top against, and then there's B, which sits like this. And it's going to be nice and asymmetrical, but also supportive on all the sides I need it to be. So this is coming out pretty good. I think I'm going to work on the feet next after some lunch. So pretty interesting, I think. Okay, so now we're at the foot stage, or feet. We're going to take these blocks and turn them into feet of some sort. I'm thinking we'll curve them out a bit so that they'll tilt down a little further, so that not sticking out too far past the edge of the table. So that's going to take a pretty good chunk there. And then we'll angle them, we'll curve them a bit, just like we did for the tops. The top branches, but these will be closer to symmetrical, I think, because that makes more sense to my brain. And I think I'm going to make the bottom of this thing a foot. I'll take a chunk of this out and make a foot down here. That's the plan anyway. And yeah, and then we'll just sculpt these together. So the first thing I'll do is get pretty close to the angle I'm after, and then I'll work out the shape after that. Actually, I'm a liar. I'm going to do the shape now. I'm going to start about here. We're going to do more of the same, just like we did before. So more music and I'll keep it going. Alright, so that last one we just shaped this little nub thing here, this little tiny horn. There'll be a lot more removed from that. Alright, so got them all laid out now, so this will go here. That's that horn, that'll hold the center a bit. I may tilt it a little more this way to get it more towards the middle, maybe. But I kind of like it off to the side like that. And then this will go here about like so. And that'll stick out. Obviously everything's a lot thicker than it's going to be when I get done. Way thicker. This stuff's going to get a lot more sinuous. Yeah, so that'll go about there. This one will go about there. Like that. I'm actually probably going to take some of this down a bit too. And then for feet, we're going to do a leg here and a leg here. And then I'm going to hollow majority of the bottom out and leave just a bit over here to be the foot, the back foot. So it makes it a tripod type of thing. So that is the plan so far. So far so good. I'm not too concerned with anything really specifically. Everything feels about right. The next things I think I want to do are get all the joinery done now, because after the joinery is in and they're all held together, then I can come after it with tools to get everything shaped right. But yeah, this is coming along. Slowly but surely it's coming along. Okay, so I have to work out how I'm going to attach these little guys. Thinking something around in this area, and then I think I'll just set them like this and go bonk, and hopefully I can mark this well enough to see. Alright, so I'm going to take and mark the heck out of this with a Sharpie so I can at least have some indication. I'm going to move that mark to here, C. Your leg C. And I'm just going to scribble all over this until that's done. I'm just going to get that mark flat, basically just by, hopefully by just holding it here, hopefully. I'm not sure I'm going to like doing that. The trouble is it won't sit right there. And if I do it this way, it likes to suck down the sharp edges down. This might be my best bet though. Yeah, I'll try. Maybe we can do it by hand. What are we doing? It's getting there. Okay, so we're gonna, work on this thing, see if I can't get it to go flat. Alright, so I didn't get audio of this, so what I'm doing now is putting in dowel centers and using those to transfer the 1/4-inch holes into the ends of each of these limbs. I'm just pressing them, and then I'm drilling holes and trying 1/4-inch dowels to get them aligned and fitted so they sit right. Okay, that'll do. So now I think we're going to go see if I got any 1/4-inch steel I can use, because I think I'm scared to trust wood alone there. Yeah, okay. Alright, I had a few minutes to think through, and I went looking, and I do have some 1/4-inch drill rod that not drill rod, but 1/4-inch steel that I could use, but I don't trust 1/4 for this. So I'm going to go up. I have another size that's, I guess it's almost 3/8, maybe. It's 11/32. So I'm just going to increase the size of all of my holes using that 1/4 inch as my pilot. I'm going to get that a little tighter. And I'm going to make these as deep as I dare go so that they're firmly ensconced. least an inch into each of these, and we'll go into the other end as far as I dare. Feels like I could use a little more juice. Definitely need more juice. These out of the way. Do this one first. Pretty much go until it stops based on the pilot. Because any bigger, and I'm going to be asking for blowout. That's why I'm going with larger steel, because I don't trust that a quarter would have been enough there. Some of these aren't going very deep. Some of these are going really deep and handle a bit more, but I think I can safely go deeper with this one. Try to get at least one that goes pretty deep. That way it's got the structure I can use. Goes deep enough. Okay. That should take care of us. Alright, now we have to go cut some steel, so we'll do that next. Cut a couple of feet of steel here. I'm just going to take this rod and cut a chunk off so I can manage it. Turn the rest of this into it. Hopefully that'll be enough. Now, it's going to take chunks about 2 or so inches long, 3 inches long. I think I'll set up a stop. It's 2 1/4. It might be okay. Yeah, let's set up a stop here real fast. Okay, so I cut a bunch of steel bits, a couple inches long, a little over a couple inches long. I'm just going to deepen all the holes in the body of the trunk here a fair bit, because that's about what I would like to see, yeah. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on it, find that is my depth. My depth, DEPF, depth. Okay, now they're all should be long enough to get the pins to go all the way into the other side without bottoming out on the other side. So we're going to test all of those now. These I'm going to make a little deeper as well, because that's a lot. I'm going to switch back to the quarter. Sorry for the noisiness there. I'm being loud. There, that ought to be plenty deep for those. Okay, I think we're try to do a bit of a dry fit here, see how well this all holds up. Okay. That one's going. It's reluctant, but it's going. And now I've got to make it, really make it seat better though. That seats now. Okay, I can deal with that. I'm gonna call that well seated actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, that one's on. So we know the horn will do. Yeah, I just got to figure out how to get it off of there. Come on now, it's coming. Slowly. Okay. Pull them in and out of there like that. That is how easy I can do that. And it's okay that it's a little bit loose in there because the epoxy's coming. Gonna take care of most of that. Okay. Do the same for you guys. I want to make sure I get them all fit well.